fear, anxiety, isolation. It made Miss McGee, a trained economist, a PhD in economics, consider whether our society's racism has been backfiring on the very same people set up to benefit from the privilege. Her conclusion: racism leads to bad policymaking. It makes our economy worse, but not just in the ways that disadvantage people of color. It turns out it is not zero sum. Racism is bad for white people too. You say how? Simply put, racism leads to the destruction of public goods through what I will call the childish reaction of, I'm going to take my ball and go home. If you look at history, desegregation, the response was that communities literally closed swimming pools and parks, libraries, and even schools.
Yes, Lord.
They lost billions of dollars of investment rather than accept racial equality.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Blacks suffered. Whites suffered. My friends, let's think about more recent history. Let's think about the Great Recession of 2008, 2009. The mortgage collapse and the foreclosures. It wasn't just for people that could not afford their homes. The problem was the structure of the types of loans that were being sold to people. Loans that people could not afford.
Come on, Lord. Come on.
And yes, it was disproportionate, harmful to African Americans and Latinos, but white people also were sold these toxic loans. When the market collapsed, everyone suffered, regardless of race. $19 trillion of wealth was lost. Pensions, home equity, savings, 8 million jobs have vanished. And even with our recovery, home ownership has never recovered. It costs too much to remain divided.
Come on, come on.
This zero-sum thinking, and let me be very clear, that's the belief that what is good for one group must come at the expense of another. That is what has gotten us into this mess.
That's right.
I believe it is time to reject that old paradigm and realize that our fates are interlinked. An injury to one is an injury to all. You all know that we have a choice. And this entire convention spirit is help more people make the right choice. Our nation is founded on the belief of a hierarchy of human values. We are a country that soon will not have a racial majority. Our diversity is growing year after year. Let me just remind you of an ancient writer, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. I just read his book, Meditations, this year. He believed that because we are human beings, we all have a soul. We all can reason. He believed for that reason that we were in fact united as a single community. He argued that if any human harmed another human, it was like harming oneself. It was not reasonable. It was not rational. Let us take up the call that we heard from Mayor David Holt here in Oklahoma City and go for one community as we build new in 22. Let us pledge to be anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-ageist as we go for one justice, one equality, one liberty, one family, and one life.
Yes, yes.
So you may ask, and you should ask, how do we get there? Why is it? Let me ask a few questions. The try and answer that most important question. How do we get here? Why is it that some cultures innovate, they grow, they succeed, but others do not? How can we take our very best intentions and beliefs as a PPLSI family and go even higher? Let us ask ourselves, why do some movements succeed? Our founder, Harlan Stonecipher, asked this very question when he was studying the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement. Mr. Stonecipher believed that what distinguished MLK wasn't that he suffered in a pre-civil rights America, but rather that he formed a movement around the highest human virtues. He pursued what is right and just. Now, when we look today at companies like Tesla or Airbnb or Uber or any of the other disruptors, we need to ask, what is going on here? And how can we learn from it? When you look at both successful social movements, when you look at successful businesses, they all act, they all communicate in exactly the same way. And it's very different from everyone else. And by that I mean by movements, by businesses that are not successful. It comes down to defining and expressing why, how, and what. Every movement, every business that can say what they do, well, they're going to be just okay. But the very few people or organizations that know why they do what they do, that is the magic. Why is not make money. That is a result. Real why answers your purpose. What is the cause? What is the belief? What do we exist to do? Why do we get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? According to Simon Sinek and Harlan Stonecipher, when you answer these questions, you start thinking, you start acting, and you start communicating from the inside out. So how do we stack up? Here's how PPLSI communicates our core values. We start with first and foremost, we put our mission above all other considerations. We weigh all decisions based on how we will or will not advance that noble and just cause. You know that our mission is to protect and empower people with tools and services that are needed to affordably live a just and secure life. My friends, that is powerful. That is one of the few times you will find in your life that a business is fused with a movement. Thank you. People join our community for that reason. That is why we have succeeded where others have struggled. Let's turn our attention to our culture. 50 years in the making, and still we know that the best is yet to come. In our business, we do not sell. We tell from the inside out. We saw the great Dave Sabul, and he taught us something that we should use every day, the curiosity approach. I have something that I'd like to show you. You may or may not be interested, and it will take about a minute. Now let's really break this down. This is important. I'd like to show you something. I'm not going to tell you anything. Let's be honest. People don't like to be told things, but they love to be shown things. The genius continues. You may or may not be interested. All of the power and control is placed in the hand of the prospect, of the person to whom you are speaking. They now are curious. Why? Because they have to decide if they are or are not interested. You've been leaning in, and now they will lean in back to you. Now, I know that Dave said it takes about 15, but let's be honest. With all the things you've learned in the last 2 days and our powerful mobile apps, it really only takes about a minute. Am I right or am I right? So when you say to somebody, hey, I'd like to show you something, you may or may not be interested. It takes about a minute. Take a minute. One of the best things I've heard in the training the last 2 days is, and that's when I shut up. Don't talk too much. Once you've said that, then just share with Prospect. Prospect by PPLSI. As you know, Prospect by Legal Shield. When you speak about our services, honestly, you can, if you want to, you can focus on the features and the benefits, the facts and the figures. They're impressive. They're impressive. But that's not going to drive behavior. I'm telling you straight up, if you only listen to one thing I have to say tonight, that won't drive the behavior that will allow your business to explode. More importantly, it also will not drive retention, a membership for a lifetime. When we communicate from the inside out, we're talking directly to that part of the brain that controls behavior. And then we allow people to rationalize it with the tangible things that we say and do. My friends, the same thing is true for network marketing. And as we heard today, for business solutions recruiting, exactly the same thing is true. I will tell you that you must start with your why. Improving your life, your family's life, your community, the pursuit of justice, the guarantee of security. But you also must focus on your team's why. Everyone on your team must have a why beyond make more money. Why do you want to make more money? Be specific. Be vulnerable. Be honest and be consistent. I hope you took away as I did. I'll tell you what. I struggle not to tear up and to have a tear fall down my eye when we hear with our heart, not with our ears, our heart, the stories in the last 2 days with people in harm's way who found PPLSI and it has changed their life and they give testimony today. This is where decisions really come from the gut. You know, sometimes we can give somebody all the facts and the figures, and they're going to say, well, I've heard all the facts and the figures and all the details, but it just doesn't feel right. That's because you're not talking to them from the inside out. If you do not live your business through our mission, if you do not tell your intimate, personal story of why you love our mission and the business that you are building, then you are going to find times of struggle. The goal is not to sell to people. The goal is to sell to people who believe what you believe. Does that make sense? The goal is not to recruit people. The goal is to recruit people who believe what you believe. People don't become a member of Legal Shield or ID Shield because you offer it. They become a member because of why you offer it. When you talk about what you believe, you will attract those who believe what you believe. But why is it important to attract those who believe what you believe? And I'll tell you why. The author Simon Sinek, he calls it the law of diffusion of innovation. Understanding this concept is how PPLSI will reach what well-known author Malcolm Gladwell calls the tipping point. Well, let me just remind you about the tipping point. About 2.5% of our population are innovators. 2.5%. Let's keep that number in mind, shall we? 13.5% are early adopters. 34% are the early majority. 24% the late majority. And 16% are laggards, and we're not going to be talking about them today. My friends, each one of us probably, depending upon our choice of technology, entertainment, fashion, okay, anything that we consume, we may be in various places at various times on this. But what the law of diffusion of innovation tells us is that if you want to make mass market success, if you want to have mass acceptance of social justice and security, then you need to get to 15 to 18% of the population to reach that tipping point. That's when the system tips. So, how do we succeed in our mission? We need raving lunatics. We need advocates. We need testimonies. We need ambassadors. We need you to tell our truth. When you look at the penetration we have right now, we're getting close to 2.5, but look how much farther we need to go so that we are running downhill, that we can look back and say we were there when it was still a struggle, but that struggle was for the betterment of mankind. Let me ask you a question. In fact, I've asked a few associates that I know and love and that you know and love. And I said, why are you in this business? Let's play those videos.
Hey, my name is Hans Kaku from Southern California. My why is to be able to help others now that we are Millionaire Club members, and we've done it, we're debt free, no credit cards, no card payments. To imagine that we have a residual income, I never thought that would be possible. Thank you, Legal Shoot.
Hey, my name is Andy, and my why is to make a difference. This is such an amazing opportunity to make a difference in people's lives, and no matter what I'm doing with my life, whether it's with my business, my vocation, this gives me a platform to really pour into people's lives, to show them how much they truly matter, and it's congruent with my life goals. And so my why is to make a difference and make the world a better place everywhere that I go, improve the lives of others, give them value, give them encouragement, and give them something to live for, and I think we get to do that with the mission that we have here at this great company.
Hey, I'm Lauren, and my why is having this membership for my family, my sons, and my husband means everything to me. Everybody deserves to have this for their families as well. Thanks.
Man, I love being a part of an amazing company where I can make a living and make a difference, where I can profit from helping others win. I just wanted to find a career as a young professional where I can go out there and make a difference and know that because other people's lives were better, that my family never had to worry about money again.
Is that beautiful? And by the way, we could have kept going. And I want all of you. I want all of you. Does anyone know what a selfie is? Are we ready for some selfies? I'm asking all of you. I want you to do a selfie walk. I want you to do exactly that same thing. And I want you to send it to us. On the Leadership Show, we're going to tell you how to do that. And we're going to start to share your truth. And you just need to practice it one time. And then, by the way, that's an asset that you should share with everybody, in person and virtually. Because my final message for you today is that we must recommit. We must build new in 22. Thank you. I want you all to know that my hands are tired from clapping, and I do not take any offense if you do not clap in. Okay, all right, listen, I just want you to know, I feel for you. By the end, I was like this. So I do not take offense if you don't clap it, or if you just don't like this. Or let's all practice that. That sounds kind of cool. Can I do that a little bit? All right. We got to recommit. We got to build new in 22. Well, thank you. We got to keep on telling our stories. We got to keep on sharing good news about our membership, about our team. This is important in good times, but my friends, it matters even more in troubled times. We're still coming out of this pandemic. We don't know how long it's going to always be there, like a worry. We've got this Ukrainian war. The world is always going to be a hostile, a violent, and many times a really selfish place. So what matters is to know that, you can have faith when everything is going well, or it's going to go well. It's much harder to have faith when things are not working out, when there are challenges and hardships in your life. But that is exactly when you need to apply your faith. Because faith is believing in the unseen. Faith is believing that you can jump. Remember right here? I've never seen John Addison get more than an inch off the ground. You jump, you gotta jump. Believing that you get into the deep end knowing that it's all gonna be okay. It is easy to be positive when things are going well. It's much, much, much harder when things are not working out. But that's when we need faith the very most. Paulo Coelho says there are some things in life that are worth fighting for to the end. What are we fighting for? Justice, equality, freedom, and opportunity. Are those things worthy? Yes, sir. To achieve justice for just one of your members, is that not a prize worth fighting for? To know that you have helped a teammate build a business to make their life better, allowing them to achieve their why, is that not a prize worth giving real effort for? My friends, you will be knocked down. But when you get knocked down, either get up, or also, by the way, don't be afraid to get a hand up from your teammate, from your family here at PPLSI, from the whole office, from your upline, from your workout partner, from the friends that you've met here at the convention. Never quit. Never stop. Just as PPLSI friend and advisor J.C. Watts taught us from our stage, we must dig deep and discover our true faith and strength. As PPLSI friend and supporter Damon Johns taught us from this stage, we must rise and grind. As longtime PPLSI friend and teacher John C. Maxwell told us from stage, show people that you care, and they will care what you have to say. What is the real prize that we are pursuing? Our mission? Money? I believe that the real prize is character, contribution, growth, pride, and gratitude. Thank you. To have the most, you must do the most, believe the most, learn the most, sacrifice the most. As Nick Serba has taught us, if you are not happy with your business, you are either not doing the right things or you are not doing the right things enough. Thank you, Nick Serba and Gail Serba. Thank you. The best is yet to come. I wrote a mantra. I love doing these kinds of crazy things. I kind of say them so often, I memorize them. This is what I wrote down. No matter what success I have had, I know that what I need will come my way. I know if I keep at it, I will be rewarded. And that's the beauty of Megan Pearson, by the way. I know all my actions, all my discipline, all my integrity will pay off in a big way. I know that the best is yet to come. Thank you. My friends, I'm going to tell you right now, setbacks aren't always negative. Sometimes they are a guide to give us much bigger and better direction. We've heard those stories in the last 2 days. But you can only see that if you show character in those hard times. If you remain open-minded in hard times. If you show strength through your struggles. Don't ask why me. Ask, how can I come out of this stronger? What can I learn? In the hard times, we see who really has character. In the hard times, we see what people are really made of. What are you made of? Tell me. What are you made of? It must be character, growth, contribution, pride, and gratitude. And my friends, gratitude is the purest energy you will ever find in your life. It will lift you up from the lowest of depths. It will take you to the highest mountains. Don't you dare look back in 5 years and think, I could have done more. If I only stuck with it, if I only stuck it out, I could have been in a much better position. No, look back with pride. Look back and be able to say to yourself, it wasn't easy, but I am so proud that I stuck it out because I got the greatest of all rewards. Make sure that your story is one of strength. Make sure that your story is of someone who refused to give up, refused to settle, refused to be normal. Keep going. Your future self is begging you. Great moments are born from great opportunity. We stand at a moment in time when the world needs what we do to give them hope that they can improve their lives, to give them equal access to equal justice, to allow them to know that their private life is theirs and theirs alone. Thank you very much. I beg for you to hear me. Each of you are meant to be here, to embrace your true self, your true potential. This is your time, not the past, not the future. 50 years, but what has been done must be outdone. What is done starts right now. No more excuses. Faith. No more blame. Belief. No more procrastination. Action. My friends, you are each worthy. You are each needed. I ask for you to join me and say, I am just getting started. Because, my friends, we know that this is special. But what we've got to do is let every other human we ever have known or meet discover the same thing. That at TPLSI, we truly know and believe that the best is yet to come. God bless each and every one.